Larry, and today we're going to make some flan. This is a really easy dessert to make. It's one of my favorites. Here's what it looks like when we're done with a little fancy plating, and let me show you how it's done. First thing we're going to do is make the caramel. So I've got 3/4 of a cup of dark sugar here, and this is sucanat. You can use any kind of, you can actually use any kind of sugar. I like dark sugar because it makes gives it a richer, deeper flavor, but any sugar will do. So 3/4 of a cup in the saucepan with 1/4 cup of water. And we're just going to heat that up until it turns to caramel. And we can do it by eye, just you sort of see when it turns a deeper, darker color, but I'm going to be a little more scientific and actually use a thermometer. So we want it to go above 250 degrees, and that's when we've reached the caramel point. So we're just going to heat it until it reaches that temperature. And you don't want to do it too fast, so just medium or low medium heat. Okay, so now we're going to turn the heat off, and we're going to divide the caramel between 6 3/4 cup ramekins. So I'm just going to pour it into the bottoms. And while we're waiting for the caramel to cool, we're going to make the custard part, and we're going to start with 2 cans of coconut milk. Now this is a little bit different than what I have in my cookbook. My cookbook, I use just the coconut cream and then add some vegan milk, but I think it's much easier to just use the whole can of coconut milk. So I'm going to use 2 cans of coconut milk. And then we're going to add 1/2 cup of sugar. Now I prefer using a lighter colored sugar for this, so I'm going to just use regular white sugar. If you use a darker sugar, it'll just color the custard a little bit darker, and that's okay. It'll taste just as good, but I just like the appearance of it being lighter. So it's not quite as healthy, but it'll look better. And then we're going to add some vanilla extract, a teaspoon or 2. And then just heat this up over medium heat. Let everything dissolve and mix together. And ultimately, we're going to bring it to a boil. So once it starts really boiling, we're going to turn the heat down and whisk in 1/4 cup of agar flakes. And just continue cooking that for a couple of minutes to make sure that everything is completely dissolved in there. So now I have the ramekins in a baking dish. This is ideal if you have, like this is a 9 by 13 inch baking dish. They'll fit there perfectly. And we're just going to divide the custard between the 6 ramekins. And then we're going to fill the baking dish with water about halfway up the sides. And then we're just going to bake this at 350 degrees for about 20 minutes. All right, so they're out of the oven now, and we just need to wait for them to cool. And then we're going to put them in the refrigerator overnight and let them chill overnight. And then we'll come back tomorrow and unmold them. All right, so now we have our flan, which has been chilled overnight, and we want to plate it so we can serve it. So the first thing we're going to do is take a knife and just go around the outside edge and just cut the connection to the ramekin. And you'll see it just slide around in there. And then to get it onto the plate, what I first usually like to do is just see if I can invert it and just shake it a little bit. Sometimes it'll come loose when you shake it, but a lot of times it still won't come out. So the easier thing to do is just sort of push it with the knife. I don't know if you can see, but just sort of, there you go, push the edges, it'll just loosen out. And there you have the final flan. And you can just put some fruit on it to decorate it. And there you have your final dessert. Thanks everybody for watching, and please like and subscribe to the channel, and tune in next time for some other great recipes. See you then.